Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with occasional review. Today's video is going to be an update of my November 2022 setup. Got three things here to share. The first is my Del D pouch. So I was using this for the beginning of November and it was a hot mess because it's so huge. One of the things I do love about it is that it has this wide open mouth, and this is all the stuff that I left in here that I was carrying around. And I don't know why. I just felt like, yeah, there's a lot of space, so let's carry it around, and I didn't need to do it. So I got rid of this. And I went to the Del D pouch, which is a more slimmer design for a pen or pencil case. And I like that it stands on its own and that you can pull this down. Everything stands at attention. I can have my stencils, access to my sticky notes, by the way, which I forgot were in here, so I had to use a different color for this week, but it's fine. This is what happens when I was young and like cleaned my room. I could never find anything. I understood where everything was in the chaos, and when I cleaned things, I was like, what is order? I don't understand. So I forgot that my sticky notes were in here and that my stencils were in here, and I was like, where is everything? Because I was keeping them like in my cover, which is pretty funny. I still have a few things that I'm not using, like this is the color that I'm using for November. I just like this and I feel like I want to use it all year round, and no other color. This olive color is really pretty from Mild Liner. And I have this as an extra pen in case mine gets messed up or I misplace it or something. This is in a 0.4, and of course this one is my Biz 2 in a 0.38. It's just a slight difference, but I notice it, especially when I'm writing. These are for my reading journal, which I don't actually carry with me, but I like having the pens in here so I know where the hell they are. And these ones also sort of just extras in case I need them for something. But this is me trying to slim down a little bit. Do you guys just carry pens you don't need just cuz? Let me know down below. It's not true. Usually if I have a problem, 17 other people have it too. So welcome. Anyway, here, let's move on to this. So both of my covers are by Leuchtterm. They are the black pebbled covers, in case I forget to mention that when I bring out the A6 one. This one is in Hobonichi Weeks size. Carrying my 22 Hobonichi cover, which if I were colors, y'all, this is the cover I would be. And I love it too much. So I moved on from using this as an everyday carry and decided that I wanted to use this as a reading journal. That did not work out at all. After like 2 weeks, it was a pass. So on the monthly here, I'm using this as a personal health journal. And when you get COVID, you certainly should pay more attention to what's happening in your life. I certainly am going to. So for the monthly, I just write down whether I had a good day or a bad day. And that could mean back pain, that can be because of COVID or, you know, any type of illness. But mostly it's for eating, like if I had a bad eating day or I had a good eating day, just so I can see how many days that are good I have in a row. On the weekly, I have this divided in half, and I have meal 1 and meal 2. I do intermittent fasting until about 11:30. So usually my days, I get up, I go and I write until about 10:30, almost 11. And during that time, I try to drink a large glass of water and a mug of tea. Not a cup of tea. I know the British people are like, why don't drink tea out of a mug? I'm so sorry. I'm just classy like that. So I drink a mug of tea, a large glass of water, and that usually keeps me full enough that I don't need to have the breakfast situation going on. And I try to eat my biggest meal first, just because when I got COVID, I had severe anxiety. I had a lot of struggle falling asleep. I've heard other people also report that. I had this panic that I couldn't breathe when I fell asleep. It was very scary and real, and I cried a lot, and I didn't sleep at all, hardly, throughout those 15 days. But so I would have my biggest meal during the day, so I had energy when I could actually finally eat solid food, which was, I think, finally my first main solid food was for Halloween. And then my second meal, if I was still hungry, was something that I would eat that was a little bit lighter, so that when I laid down, I didn't feel like I was so heavy. You know what I mean? This, what I like to call this, I don't even know, this line that causes my mental block. I'm just using that for a line for routines every day. Because I was having so much struggle falling asleep, and I've been really hard on myself, I treated myself and I went to Target and to Sephora and I bought some face masks and other things to kind of get into like a nightly routine to just calm down about an hour before I go to sleep, and that has really, really helped me. Because I have severe anxiety disorder, after I was no longer sick, I'm saying that I'm at about probably 75% right now. I still have these coughing spells that give me a headache by the end of the day, but other than that, I'm okay. I just had so much trouble falling asleep that even though I wasn't sick anymore, my brain, my anxiety brain, was like, you can't fall asleep, you can't breathe. And it was still really scary. So I've been doing this like nightly routine to help calm myself so I can sleep. And it's been a lot better. And I'm almost at that point where I can just sleep like a normal person again. Off to the side here, move that out of the way, I just put journaling for the day. So this is where I just put whether I had a good day or a bad day, and that could be because of physical back pain or being sick or with my food. Like, did I eat bad? And if I did, why? Is it because I didn't prep food, or is it because you know, I was having some kind of emotional thing and I just ate whatever I wanted. Sometimes those are usually my two go-to reasons why I have a bad eating day. So this is just very simple. We definitely should talk a little bit about what you do when you do get sick and you have these pre-dated planners versus a bullet journal. You will see in here that I gave up on my dailies completely because I didn't have a lot of energy. I was basically living off of my weeklies because setting up a day seemed ridiculous and gave me a lot of anxiety because I couldn't get through all of the things that I listed on most days. I'm really grateful that I have a weekly because unlike having a daily planner, I probably would have lost my mind a little bit there because I would have had like 15, 20 days of just empty dailies. The weeklies, you know, are more compact, so I have less weeks that they're empty, and I'm not too worried about that. But this is very simple. If I need more journaling or space for anything here, I can just put a number for a page in the back and just go ahead and write whatever I need here. This is when I was trying to use it as a reading journal. It was dumb. My handwriting is just too big for that, especially when I need to write things down quickly. So that's everything in here. The pen I've been using is kind of annoying because it's very skinny and I need to use a grip and it doesn't fit in here well. Like, even if I put it this way, it sticks out. And if I put it in backwards, like this, it falls right through, and I try to clip it on and it drives me insane. Who cares? Well, you might care if you try this pen, so there's that. But it is a zebra pen. This is a ballpoint pen, 301A, and it's in a 0.7. And I really like the way this pen writes. I do love it. It's just kind of annoying to have to put into one of these little pen lip thingamajiggers, but it doesn't smear, and I appreciate that because nobody has time for that in their life. And then we're on to my A6 Leuchtterm cover. I kind of rearranged things in here a little bit to make it look a little neater. I had all of those stencils in here, and frankly, these stencils look like children's toys, okay? They're incredibly helpful to me in my everyday planning. I love the Hobonichi Weeks stencil because these are the tiniest little numbers I've ever found in a stencil. But oh my God, are they childlike, and they drive me insane when I see them. So keep this one in the back where no one can see it. And I just put a little bit of things here that adds a little bit of beautiful, but mostly I want them to be functional. I find that I will use these washi dots. You saw them for a moment in my Hobonichi Weeks, and this is the faux Polaroid stickers. This is a washi tape that I can cut down into little sections for each bug. And I just keep them in here because if I do, I'll actually use them. The same with this little slip pocket here. I was sitting watching TV one day and feeling good enough to do something. So not a big something, but I took a piece of vellum and I went ahead and I made a little folder. I taped the sides here and I just keep the stickers in here. They have this annoying plastic back to them, and so they would slide around if I put them in here or in here, and they'd fall out and they'd drive me insane. So I just made a little folder so that they wouldn't move around, and I just put them in here, and it works nicey nice and everyone's happy. So I highly recommend that if you're having that issue. This page keeps flopping open whenever I open this, and I had it blank because there is some personal information in here and then just my long-term lists for things. So I didn't want anything on this front page, so I went ahead and decorated it so it looked nice for you and for myself whenever I flop it open. And I put some, you know, beautiful words there, one of my favorite books. So there's that. Long term, this matched pretty nicely nice with that, so it wasn't just blank because it was getting boring. Over here I have my Friction pen. This is the Friction Biz 2 in a 0.38, which I love. It is my favorite pen. And then of course my Leuchtterm 1917 in A6 pocket hardcover. I don't know if I'm going to get another one after I'm done with this. I was thinking about moving to a B6, what is it called? Stology, and giving the Stology paper another go. I didn't hate the paper, I just didn't like the A6 that I had. I honestly didn't give it a fair enough of a shake. I figured I'd come back to it at some other point. So I'm still not using the inbox here. Behind here I put some stickers that a planner friend gave to me, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. I still had them. I didn't want them to go to waste, so I put them back behind the vellum, and I just like the way it looks. My monthly is different. Still have this bullet journal style here, but instead of writing the movies that I'm watching for the month of November, I decided to go with Brian Hazard's Frankenlog Light. So the way this works, if you haven't seen it before, I've used it in the past. You can go A to Z or how many letters you want, like you can double up the letters if you need to. This is a way to track all of the things you want to track without having to do a big tracker that you have to draw out, because it's just a way to trick your brain into tracking, really, without having that old school tracker. Because I don't know, sometimes I look at that and I get panicked and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. This is a little bit different, and then I don't fail. So it's a way to trick your mind that works for me. You basically just go ahead and you write, like, A here, it says that I cooked, and then any day that I cooked, I can write an A, and it just lets me know. It just allows me to see my habits so that I can form any kinds of opinions or see what habits I do have and what habits I really, really need to create, which is usually the case. I wrote Thanksgiving here. My family and I, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so throughout here you'll see it say family dinner, and that's what I'm referring to. But that was something major I needed to schedule and work out, so I just put that in the back on page 1. What does it say? Yeah, 26. So this was all the stuff that we were going to be having, and I needed to call people and let them know what they wanted to bring if they were going to come. We have a big family, so there are a lot of us that go to more than one Thanksgiving, or what I call family dinner. Over here we have my to-do list. Remember, I wanted this to-do list not to just be, oh, this is what I want to do in a month, but more specifically seasonally and for that specific month. Like the Nutcracker comes out. That's a thing that my niece and I have been doing since she's 4. She's 12 now. So I need to get tickets for that. Family dinner, again, Thanksgiving. I'm working on that, making the list, calling the people. Movie night. I always want to do at least one movie night for everyone every single month. And my niece and nephew will be here from college and grad school, so I definitely want to have a movie night with them. And that will be separate from family dinner because they usually stay late to watch movies after anyway. Jane and I are doing NaNoWriMo. We are writing a paranormal romance because we have been reading Twilight and we were in the mood, so that was fun. That was something we started outlining in October, which was really fun, and writing it has been fun as well. And I love that we've been getting back to writing after having that big break from COVID. Right here, I wanted to do writing sessions at least one a week, but that hasn't been working out well since I've been very tired, so we've only had one in the last 2 weeks. Goals, cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake. Let me tell you, I make pumpkin cheesecake that's really good, and I always make it for Thanksgiving. and I make it for Christmas, which again is just another family dinner because I don't celebrate Christmas. And we have to shove this stuff down just because we don't want to waste it. But there's just so much food. So I decided this year I wanted to make it during a different time so we could really appreciate it. But because I've been sick and I've been pushing it off, I haven't made it. But I plan on making this before Thanksgiving, you guys. Do you guys try to do that? Do you try to like space out all of the holiday foods so you don't have to have them all in one day? Because it's a lot and it's really hard on my body to try to eat everything all in one day. Science fair is at the end of this month, so Jade and I have slowly been chipping away at that. Mostly I'm just here making sure that she has somebody watching her do it. Do you ever have like that one thing that you just need someone to sit in the room with you and make sure you're doing it? That's science fair. She won last year in school and went to regionals, so she does enjoy it, but it's a lot of work and sometimes you just need someone to sit there with you. Disenchanted is another movie night I want to have separate from this one because my nephew and Jay are very manly and they're like, we're not going to watch that movie. So I thought this would be something that my niece and my sister and I could do together. Don't Worry Darling, I'm not going to spoil that for you. It was such an incredible disappointment and it had potential and I'm still sitting with it. But yeah, I got no answers for pretty much anything that they brought up in that movie. Return to Oz, again, this is something I wanted Jade and I to watch. We didn't get to it because we did finish reading the, what would you call it, like a retelling of The Wizard of Oz by Danielle Page called Dorothy Must Die, which was awesome. We loved it. And I wanted her to watch that movie because we did read the original Wizard of Oz books. Okay, this is the orthodontist. So this is basically my forward planning stuff I need to schedule for next month. I only have one thing on there right now because I haven't really been keeping up that well, but I'm again at 75%, so I'm doing better. This is a piece of vellum that was in an old traveler's notebook that I loved, but the edges were like pretty torn and I'm not using that size anymore, so I cut it down to fit in here. I think it's really nice for fall colors. Also, native indigenous colors tend to be like this and they're just, I don't know, it's really pretty. I liked it. I stuck it in here. This is my divide between all of the monthly stuff and the weekly stuff. Like I said, in November, I have been living and dying by my weekly because I just can't get it together to use my dailies because I've been sick and it was really depressing filling out a daily and having half of the stuff just either not even be filled out, let alone, you know, forward. It was just, I couldn't fill it out. Like, look at this space. This is pretty bare and it is what it is. Here we are on week 45. Now I have a reading journal I showed in my last video. I just keep this here to remind me to check in on my reading journal. All of this stuff carried over from October. I thought I was going to get to it all very quickly. I had this really nice groove with reading and listening to audiobooks. When I got sick and even after I was getting better, I just can't be bothered to pick up a book or to listen to an audiobook. I just want to watch TV shows and movies. It's terrible. I know. So I'm trying to get back into that. Mostly this week I want to focus on cleaning out the refrigerator and both of my freezers to get ready for family dinner and all that space for all of the food. You guys also, I imagine that's probably the case. Maybe people just keep super clean fridges. I don't. That is not who I am as a person. So slowly every day I added 15 minutes on here for cleaning. I want to clean more than that, probably an hour to 2 a day, and start chipping away at getting the house clean for the big family dinner. And, you know, just because the year's almost over and I like to start January nice and fresh and clean. So fresh and so clean, clean. That's a song, right? I did a little bit, like here and here, of planning ahead of time, not too much, but I have all my months here. I don't remember what I was going to put here. I got sick and I forgot. I guess maybe a review of the month after. It says November. I don't remember. But this is how my dailies have looked. So November 1st, I was feeling a little bit better and I thought, come on, I want to start the month strong. But during this week, so you can see it went from the 1st to the 7th, I was having these waves of exhaustion where I cannot nap to save my life, people. But during COVID, during this week, I got so tired like somebody gave me medication. that I would just pass out on the couch, or I would just go lay down for a minute because I felt really tired. I was like, maybe if I rest, and then I just like pass out. It was so crazy. My body was really, really needing the sleep. So I was not getting a lot done because then I'd wake up and I was just so tired and it just sucked. Oh no, first world problems. People have had COVID a lot worse than I did, but this really affected my everyday schedule. And since we're talking about it, this is what it is. So the thing I'm grateful for in a bullet journal is I could just skip those days, and I didn't have pre-dated days that were just empty, you know, like day 2, day 4. I would have lost my mind, and that would have given me such anxiety. I was already having anxiety about the fact that I made a column here and filled nothing out because I got really, really tired this day and had a bad coughing spell, and I ended up with a migraine. Tuesday was yesterday. I ended up going to the bigger town because I was feeling so much better, and I needed stuff. Like stuff that Jay couldn't get because he was working and I was sick. So we were out of, you know, tissue, Kleenex, dish soap, laundry soap, all of this stuff. So I went to Target, and then of course this is the day I went and got me some face masks and other things so I could start doing a nightly routine to wind down and get my anxiety a lot lower than what it's been. Today is Wednesday, and I mean, I feel like I'm going to do a whole day of stuff and put some journaling in here as well. I'm going to go back to writing. I took the day off yesterday. I just needed to go to the bigger town and focus on some adult errand stuff that nobody likes to do. But today I think I'm going to have a full day of planning. And if, you know, my time wasn't precious enough because I have so much stuff to catch up on, I ordered some stuff online because, well, I was sick with COVID and I needed to keep myself upbeat about feeling so sick. And this is what happened. Old Navy, I bought some pajama bottoms from them, sent me baby clothes. Look at how cute and sweet. Aww. And they just accidentally put this in with my order. I checked my order. I didn't pay for any of this stuff. I wasn't like in a COVID, you know, fever dream where I was just ordering baby clothes, which I could imagine actually happening because I was so sleep deprived, who knows what the hell. But yeah, they sent me a little, look, this is 3 to 6 months. Is it just not the sweetest thing? I was an emotional wreck, and Jay's like, no. Anytime I see baby stuff, I'm like, hey, don't you want to have a baby? We don't want babies. But sometimes when you see stuff like this, it's just, let's just have a baby so we can put these clothes on. He's like, just return them. Look how sweet, and it has little pants to match. I love it when children dress preppy like this, especially little boys. Oh my gosh, it's just so adorable. And then look at this sweet little jacket. Oh, I couldn't believe this, and I was like, Old Navy, what are you trying to do to me? Biological clock ticking at 40, and it's just like ridiculous. So if I didn't have enough things to do, I've got to go figure that out in a minute after I'm done with this video. But yeah, that's everything. I am slowly working at getting back to my 85-95% because I always have back issues. But yeah, I am feeling so much better. I hope that everyone out there is doing better as well. Let me know what you've been using that's been working for you and what you think I should possibly move into if you've been watching my channel for a while. And what I mean by that is like bullet journal style. So like, what kind of notebook? Should I go with Astrology? I don't want any more Tomoe River paper because I have a 2023 Hobonichi Weeks, and I feel like right now that's all of the Tomoe River paper I can handle with the Smearage and all of that. So I don't know, what other notebooks do you guys use out there for bullet journaling, and what sizes do you use? I feel like A5 just seems like it's enormous at this point and I need to stay in like a B6 and lower. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.